prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope everybody is having a great Thursday morning. You know, usually I jump on here. I've got a video. I've got some type of article or clips from an interview, something along those lines. But today we are just going to sit down and talk. We're going to have a conversation, but I guess it's going to be a one-sided conversation. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw some questions out there for you guys. I want you to hit the comment section. I'll try to be in there all day and respond. Let's have some back and forth communication. Really just a few things to watch for in today's scrimmage. But as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. If you will so kindly press that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the channel, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are just three guys that love Tennessee athletics. We are fans just like you, so welcome on in. We want it to be an atmosphere like you're sitting on your back porch with your buddies talking about the Vols. But if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live and when we drop new content. Reminder, it's go time. It is go time for Talkin VAWLS. We will be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hope you guys will join us for that. But again, big scrimmage for the Vols today, and just a few questions. A few questions for Josh Heupel. A few questions that we should want answered. And it's, you know, I guess I would start with, how does the offense respond after taking a loss to the defense last week? I want to see them bounce back. I want to hear some positive things coming out of practice or out of this scrimmage for the offense, especially up front on that offensive line. You know, we heard that Byron Young flashed in Thursday's scrimmage last week, which is a good thing. It's a good thing to hear some positives about a guy getting pressure, because that's something that the Vols are going to have to be able to do this fall. If they're going to have any type of success, they're going to need somebody to put pressure on the quarterback. But today, I want to hear that flipped. I want to hear the offensive line was out there pushing some guys around. They need that fire. They need that attitude. They need that same chip on their shoulder that we see the defensive line playing with this fall camp. You know, I think we've got some talent up front on the offensive line, but I'm obviously concerned about depth, especially after the injury to Calvert going down for the season. It's just one of those things that if we start hearing after every scrimmage, if we start hearing about the struggles up front, and one of the big things that concerns me is penalties. There was a lot of dead ball penalties in that first scrimmage. Got to clean those things up. But if we start hearing about the defensive line, a defensive line that struggled, keep that in mind, a defensive line. And yeah, I have hyped them to death because of Rodney Garner and what they've been able to do in this fall camp. But it's a defensive line that we saw struggle all spring long. So if we consistently start to hear that they are pushing this offensive line around, I'm going to start to have concerns about the offensive line heading into the season. You know, Heupel actually had a really good comment. I said I wasn't going to play clips, but I've got it on here. I'm going to go find it real quick. Talking about good on good and what you want to see as you go through, you know, not just spring practice, but also fall camp, as you start to work your way into the season, trying to determine where your football team is at. So I'm going to play that clip now because I like it when you're talking about good on good.
As a coach, I don't think you're ever comfortable and completely satisfied where you're at in any phase of what you're doing. You're constantly trying to push and get better. You know, offensively, there's been days and portions of practice where you've strung things together and you feel really good about the efficiency and how you're operating, and 11 guys playing as one. Defensively, they've had those same moments during the course of it. I think as a coach, you get concerned when it's one side of the football that is consistently dominating practices or scrimmages. You know, I mean, there's been good back and forth, and I think our guys on both sides of the line of scrimmage have a much better understanding of what we're doing schematically, fundamentally, technique, We've continued to progress. Their practice habits have been really good. I think that's what brings a sense of confidence to myself, but our coaching staff too. I mean, there's a process that you got to go through. Our kids are straining and competing through that.
Josh Heupel may not work out, but I love that guy. I love to listen to him talk. Brent Hubbs was asking him there if he was concerned or if he, felt confident in his offense after the defense won the day that first scrimmage. And we've talked about it over and over on this channel that he's just comfortable in his own skin. He can laugh about things. I hope he gets it done. He's one of the, I like Josh Heupel. I think he does things the right way. But another thing I'm looking for coming out of this scrimmage is position changes. Hopefully, when we go live tonight, we're going to have some answers to some of these questions I'm throwing out at you guys. But two guys that I know we keep talking about, we talked about them all spring, but when do you pull the trigger and move a guy like Lenneth Whitehead or D. Beckwith? And, with Whitehead, you would think to move him to linebacker, and that's one thing, maybe not, because the linebackers, they're looking a lot better during fall camp than they were back in the spring. Obviously you added Juwan Mitchell, added some depth with Mohan, who sounds like he's probably going to contribute more on special teams. Also, you get Willis and Beasley back, so maybe Whitehead stays at running back. But a guy like D. Beckwith, and maybe as fans we have overhyped this guy, but just we talk about his size, his athleticism. And, the reason I mention these two guys is I just don't see them being able to crack the rotation at running back. And so, you hear all the praise for Jabari Small doing everything the right way all throughout the spring and into fall camp. And then Tylen Evans, limited in the spring, but now this guy, it sounds like he's living up to the hype that he had coming in out of JUCO. And I really think also hearing about Jalen Wright, I just think he fits into what Josh Heupel wants to do on offense. Dauber has mentioned it so many times in live streams, almost laughing at how the talent set up on this team that Jeremy Pruitt brought in fits perfectly into what Josh Heupel wants to do on offense. And I think Jalen Wright is one of those guys. And, when you go back and look at Beckwith, the staff they keep doubling down on it, that they're not going to move Beckwith, that he's going to stay at running back. But at what point do you try to get your best guys on the field? But again, maybe it's another case of the fans just overhyping D. Beckwith. Maybe he's not going to get on the field at tight end or H-back. Just think there's ways you could utilize him and get him out there. But like I said, hopefully that's something else that we will see coming out of this second scrimmage. Something else, obviously, the quarterback position. Who flashes? When does Josh Heupel name a starter? Or, I even wonder, do you guys think he even names a starter to the public before that home opener against Bowling Green? He talked about at the beginning of fall camp the importance of taking reps in practice and what that process of dividing those up would look like. And obviously, he had that conversation with Brian Maurer last week about his reps going to be limited moving forward, and we all saw how that went down. I don't think Brian Maurer is going to be back with his football team. He's not participated in a single practice or the scrimmage after that. So how does that conversation look if it's Harrison Bailey? And as much as people don't want to hear it, it sounds like Harrison Bailey is third string right now. How does that conversation go? Hopefully it goes a lot different than Brian Maurer. Hopefully, he keeps his head on his shoulders. He keeps working, because this is not the end of Harrison Bailey if he doesn't start. Now, does he transfer? Maybe. Some of you seem to think so. I don't know. We'll see. The transfer portal sure has made it easy for the quarterbacks that don't get an opportunity to start to hit the road and move elsewhere. And if he does, best of luck. But sooner rather than later, this football team is going to kind of shift their focus, and you're going to start to go into game preparation during practice. So I think you got to have a guy in place when you're starting, game prep. Is that guy going to be Joe Milton? If it is, coming out of today's scrimmage, I want to hear some buzz about Joe Milton. And yeah, we saw a few highlights of him making some plays. We saw a couple of nice throws. We saw him make plays with his feet. And, I saw a conversation on VAWLS talking about Joe Milton and his ability to make plays in the run game, and pointing out to, don't look at his stats at Michigan. That's the number one thing that comes in the comment section with people that are against Joe Milton. They want to talk about his stats at Michigan, his completion percentage, his rushing yards. They didn't ask him to run the ball at Michigan, so that's irrelevant. That was not part of their offense. But, Coach Golish clearly said that Joe Milton has the ability to win you football games running the football. So I want to hear some buzz about Joe Milton. Not just that, it was efficient. I don't want to hear efficient. I want some hype, some buzz from this, not just Joe Milton, but from the offense in general. The ridiculous article I shared yesterday predicting a 3-win season for the VAWLS, claiming they didn't have any playmakers on offense. That's just ridiculous, uneducated, and ridiculous. They clearly have some playmakers. Got to have guys up front do their job, and got to have a quarterback that can deliver the ball. If we can get that, I think this team's going to have success. What are you guys looking for out of scrimmage number 2 today? Leave me a comment. Let me know any of your thoughts on position changes, the quarterback competition. When does Josh Heupel name a starter? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have some good back and forth today. And then again, we'll be live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, we'll have some stuff to talk about coming out of that scrimmage. But if you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, you can pick up the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go pick up that retro VAWLS merch. I love, look at this baseball. The logo just looks great, looks clean, different styles, different colors, all that good stuff. Go check it out. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link to all of that is in the description below, as well as you can see our Twitter handles scrolling across the screen. Look, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are on that road, and we need your help. How can you help? Well, when we tweet out that we're going live, when we tweet out a video, you guys kill the like button, and I appreciate that. You leave comments, great interaction. Help us out on Twitter. Share our videos. Retweet them. Post them on Facebook. You guys are responsible for the growth of this channel. You guys are the reason this channel is blowing up, and we are taking over YouTube. So we appreciate that, but continue to help us out. Share out the videos, share out the live streams, all that good stuff. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like being poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we